Good morning, everyone. I want to start with a simple question. What is holding you up? Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Because the truth is, by the time we hit 60, life has shown us its full spectrum. Love and loss, triumph and regret, belonging and loneliness. And if we're being really honest, we know that the idea of family always being there is a beautiful story, but not a guaranteed one. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my family. But as we age, we start to see that our kids have their own lives, siblings have their own struggles, and even the strongest family bonds don't always translate to daily reliable support. If there is one truth about aging that we can't afford to ignore, it's this: your body will remind you of everything you have done to it over the years. At 60, you start noticing things you once took for granted. Maybe it's the stiffness in your joints when you get out of bed, the energy that doesn't bounce back as quickly, or the simple realization that you no longer feel invincible. And that's because you're not. None of us are. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. Health is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Taking care of your health isn't about chasing some unrealistic version of fitness. It's not about having the body of a 30-year-old or forcing yourself into extreme diets and punishing workouts. It's about making small, intentional choices every single day, choices that prioritize your long-term well-being over short-term comfort. Move your body in a way that you enjoy, whether it's walking, swimming, dancing, or gentle stretching. Motion is life. Eat for nourishment, not just for convenience. Your body is literally built from what you put into it. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're waking up tired, it's time to reevaluate your habits. The silent thief of aging. Neglect. A lot of people assume that declining health is just a normal part of getting older. But here's the hard truth. Most of what we call aging is actually neglect. We ignore small pains until they turn into big problems. We put off doctor's visits until the diagnosis is more serious. We assume fatigue is just part of life instead of a sign that something needs attention. Your body keeps score. And if you don't listen when it whispers, it will make sure you hear when it shouts. Energy is everything. Health isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about having the energy to truly live. Do you want to travel in your 60s, 70s, and beyond? You'll need strength and endurance. Do you want to be able to play with your grandkids instead of just watching from the sidelines? Your mobility matters. Do you want to wake up excited for the day rather than drained before it even starts? Prioritize your well-being, because what's the point of financial stability, friendships, and purpose if you don't have the energy to enjoy them? Your health is your responsibility. No one else can do this for you. Not your spouse, not your kids, not your doctor. You have to decide that you are worth the effort. Invest in yourself. Your future self will thank you. There's a saying that goes, money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy choices. And at 60, choices matter more than ever. When you're younger, you have time to recover from financial mistakes. You can switch careers, take risks, and even start over if necessary. But as you step into your 60s and beyond, financial stability isn't just about comfort. It's about peace of mind, dignity, and independence. The silent stressor, money worries. Let's be honest, few things create stress like financial instability. It keeps you up at night. It makes even simple decisions feel heavy. It affects your health, your relationships, and your overall sense of security. At this stage of life, financial freedom doesn't mean being rich. It means being prepared. Can you cover unexpected expenses without panic? Can you afford the lifestyle you want even in retirement? Do you have a plan in place for medical costs, long-term care, or emergencies? If the answer to any of these is uncertain, now is the time to take action, because when money problems creep in, they don't just affect your bank account, they affect your quality of life. Independence is priceless. One of the greatest fears people have as they age is becoming a burden. No one wants to rely on their children or relatives for financial support, especially when families today are juggling their own challenges. Financial stability ensures that you remain in control of your own life. It allows you to live where you choose, not where you have to. It lets you travel, pursue hobbies, and enjoy your time without constantly worrying about costs. It gives you the dignity of making your own healthcare decisions without being limited by financial constraint. Because let's be honest, relying on family for financial support can strain relationships. No matter how much your loved ones care for you, money has a way of creating tension. Wouldn't it feel better to know that you are secure, independent, and in charge of your own destiny? The power of planning. If you haven't taken a deep look at your financial situation, now is the time. It's never too late to start making smarter financial decisions. Budget with clarity. Know exactly what you're spending and where you can adjust. Downsize if needed. A smaller, more manageable home can mean fewer expenses and more freedom. Create multiple income streams. Whether it's investments, rental income, consulting, or even a small side business, extra income can provide long-term security. Be smart with debt. Avoid new debts and work on eliminating any lingering financial burdens. Healthcare, the hidden costs of aging. One of the biggest financial threats people overlook is healthcare. Medical costs rise with age, and a single health crisis can drain savings faster than you realize. Do you have good health insurance? Have you considered long-term care options? Are your legal and financial documents in order? Wills, power of attorney, and beneficiaries? Planning for these things now means you won't be caught off guard later. Live life on your terms. Money is not about greed or excess. It's about freedom. The freedom to say yes to what excites you, the freedom to say no to what doesn't serve you, the freedom to wake up each morning without the weight of financial worry pressing on your chest. Financial stability isn't about having more, it's about having enough to live life on your terms. So take control, make a plan, protect your future, because at 60 and beyond, peace of mind is the greatest luxury you can have. There's a moment in life when you realize something profound. Family isn't always defined by blood, it's defined by love, by presence, and by choice. By the time you turn 60, you've seen relationships evolve. Your children, if you have them, are likely busy building their own lives. Siblings may be distant emotionally or geographically. Spouses, if you're lucky to have one by your side, are wonderful companions, but even they can't be everything. This is where friendships become one of the strongest pillars of support. Because when life throws its inevitable challenges your way, it's often friends, not just family, who show up, who check in, who remind you that you are seen, valued, and never truly alone. The myth of automatic support. Many people assume that family will always be there, that blood ties automatically guarantee care and presence, but reality doesn't always work that way. Family members may love you, but they also have their own responsibilities, struggles, and obligations. Some relationships within families become strained over time, leading to emotional distance, and sometimes due to life circumstances, people simply cannot be there when you need them the most. This is why friendships must be nurtured with the same dedication we give to family. Friendships in adulthood, why they matter more than ever. There's a reason research consistently shows that friendships contribute to longevity, mental health, and happiness. Strong social connections have been linked to lower stress levels, a reduced risk of cognitive decline, and even longer lifespans. At 60, friendships provide something priceless: emotional support, someone to talk to, confide in, and share the highs and lows of life with. Laughter and joy. Friends bring humor and lightness even in the most challenging times. A sense of belonging. We all need to feel connected, to have people who genuinely care about us. And here's the most important part: friendships require effort. They don't just happen, they are built day by day through intention and reciprocity. Nurturing deep and meaningful friendships as we age, making and maintaining friendships requires conscious effort. It's easy to become isolated, to let connections fade because life gets in the way. But isolation is one of the biggest risk factors for depression and declining health in older adults. So how do we build and sustain strong friendships? Be intentional. Don't wait for friends to reach out. Take the initiative. Call, text, or invite someone for coffee. Prioritize quality over quantity. It's not about having dozens of friends. It's about having a few deep, meaningful connections. Be present. In a world filled with distractions, true friendships thrive on undivided attention and genuine conversations. Forgive and let go. No friendship is perfect. Learn to navigate misunderstandings with grace rather than letting small conflicts create permanent distance. Try new things together. Whether it's traveling, joining a group, or picking up a hobby, shared experiences deepen bonds. The importance of expanding your social circle. If you feel like your social circle has shrunk, you're not alone. Many people in their 60s find that old friendships have faded or that they've outgrown certain relationships. But the good news, it's never too late to make new friends. Join a local club, group, or class that interests you. Volunteer giving back is one of the best ways to meet like-minded people. Stay connected with former colleagues, neighbors, or community members. Say yes to invitations and social opportunities instead of assuming you won't fit in. The key is to remain open, curious, and willing to engage with others. When friendship becomes family, some friendships become so deep, so strong that they transcend typical social bonds. These are the friends who feel like family, the ones you celebrate holidays with, lean on in times of crisis, and trust with your deepest truths. These friendships don't just happen, they are earned through time, consistency, and love. They are the people who listen without judgment, the ones who remember the little things that matter to you, the ones who celebrate your victories as if they were their own. And if you're lucky enough to have friendships like this, cherish them. Because at the end of the day, it's not just blood that defines family. It's the people who choose to show up for you time and time again. Final thought, loneliness is a choice, connection is too. At 60 and beyond, friendships are not just a luxury, they are a necessity. They bring warmth in moments of loneliness. They remind you that you are valued. They make the journey of aging not just bearable, but joyful. So invest in your friendships. Reach out, show up. Because in the end, the people we walk with determine how rich and fulfilling our journey will be. There comes a point in life when we ask ourselves, what now? For decades, we were defined by responsibilities, building careers, raising children, caring for loved ones, managing obligations. Our sense of purpose was often tied to what we did and who needed us. But as we reach 60 and beyond, many of those roles shift or fade away. Retirement arrives, children become independent, the pace of life slows, and this is where so many people find themselves lost, because without purpose, we don't just slow down. We start fading away, the danger of drifting. There's a reason so many people struggle after retirement. When we wake up without a clear reason to get out of bed, life starts to feel empty. The routine, the structure, the sense of contribution, it all suddenly disappears. And this is dangerous. Studies show that people who retire without a sense of purpose often experience a decline in both physical and mental health. Depression and loneliness become common when people feel they no longer have a role to play. Without a driving force, even the most active individuals can begin to feel disconnected from the world around them. But here's the truth. Purpose doesn't end just because a job does. Redefining purpose after 61, of the biggest mistakes we make is believing that purpose is something external. Something that comes from a job title, financial success, or societal recognition. But real purpose is internal. At this stage in life, purpose is about fulfillment, growth, and impact, not just productivity. It's about asking, what excites me? How can I contribute to something bigger than myself? What legacy do I want to leave? Because having a reason to wake up every day, something to look forward to, something to contribute to, keeps us truly alive. Ways to cultivate purpose in your 60s and beyond. Finding purpose isn't about filling your schedule with random activities. It's about engaging in things that bring meaning, joy, and a sense of fulfillment. Here are a few ways to rediscover purpose. Mentorship and sharing your wisdom. You have decades of experience. Why not share it? Whether it's mentoring younger professionals, guiding family members, or teaching a skill, your knowledge has value. Many people find immense joy in coaching, speaking, or simply being a role model for the next generation. Volunteering and giving back, nothing fuels the soul like helping others. Volunteer at a local charity, hospital, or community center. Support causes that matter to you, whether it's education, animal rescue, or social justice. The act of giving creates a sense of belonging and importance. Pursuing a passion or hobby. Have you always wanted to paint, write a book, learn an instrument, travel? Now is the time to explore. Passion projects provide a deep sense of satisfaction. It's never too late to start something new. Many of the world's most successful writers, artists, and thinkers found their true calling later in life. Staying socially engaged purpose isn't just about doing, it's about connecting. Join social groups, attend events, or participate in community activities. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and encourage growth. Prioritizing personal growth just because you're older doesn't mean you stop learning. Read books, take online courses, attend workshops, keep your mind active. Intellectual stimulation is one of the best ways to prevent cognitive decline. Spiritual and emotional growth. Many people find purpose in deepening their spirituality or practicing mindfulness, whether it's meditation, religious practices, or simply engaging in self-reflection. Connecting to something greater than yourself can bring profound meaning. Purpose is the key to longevity. Science backs this up. People who have a strong sense of purpose live longer, healthier lives. A study published in JAMA Psychiatry found that older adults with a sense of purpose had lower rates of cognitive decline. Research from the blue zones, regions where people live the longest, shows that having a reason to wake up each day is one of the biggest contributors to longevity. People who remain engaged with life mentally, emotionally, and socially are less likely to experience depression or chronic illness. In short, purpose is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. Your life still matters. Here's what I want you to remember. You are not done yet. You still have wisdom to share. You still have joy to experience. You still have an impact to make. So ask yourself today, what makes me feel truly alive? Because when you find that answer, everything changes, and you don't just exist, you thrive. By the time you reach 60, life has taught you more lessons than you ever asked for. You've experienced love and loss, victories and failures, moments of deep joy and moments of regret. And if you're like most people, you've probably been your own worst critic through it all. We live in a world that celebrates resilience, toughness, and pushing through challenges. But one of the greatest lessons of aging is this: being kind to yourself is just as important as being strong. At this stage in life, self-compassion isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Because how you speak to yourself, how you treat yourself, and how you forgive yourself will determine the quality of your days ahead. The weight of regret and how to release it by 60, you've had decades to accumulate experiences and inevitably regrets. Maybe you wish you had spent more time with loved ones instead of chasing success. Maybe you regret not taking better care of your health earlier. Maybe you carry guilt over relationships that ended, opportunities you didn't take, or mistakes you made along the way. Here's the truth: you cannot rewrite the past, but you can choose how you move forward. Regret is only useful if it leads to growth, if it teaches you something, if it helps you make different choices in the present. But beyond that, holding on to regret serves no purpose. It only steals your peace. If you need to forgive yourself, do it. If you need to make amends, take action. If you need to let something go, don't carry it into the next season of your life, because you deserve to move forward with lightness, not baggage. The inner critic, taming the voice in your head. We all have that voice, the one that says you should have done more. You should have been better. You're not enough. For decades, this voice may have driven you to work harder, to push through challenges, to keep going. But now it's time to stop beating yourself up and start lifting yourself up. Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? Would you tell someone you love that they're not good enough? Then why do you do it to yourself? Self-compassion means learning to be gentle with yourself. It means recognizing that being human means being imperfect. It means allowing yourself grace instead of punishment. Try this. When you catch yourself being self-critical, pause and ask, would I say this to someone I love? If not, change the narrative. Your body deserves kindness too. By 60, your body has carried you through 6 decades of life. It has kept you alive through illness, stress, and wear and tear. And yet, for many of us, our relationship with our body is built on frustration rather than gratitude. We criticize the wrinkles instead of appreciating the wisdom they represent. We focus on what we can't do anymore instead of celebrating what we can do. We compare ourselves to younger versions of ourselves rather than embracing the strength we have today. But here's the reality. Your body deserves love, not criticism. Treat it kindly, feed it well, move it with care, rest when you need to, and most importantly, stop punishing yourself for aging. Aging is not a failure, it's a privilege. The power of saying no without guilt. One of the most powerful acts of self-compassion is setting boundaries. For much of life, you may have put others first. You may have said yes when you wanted to say no. You may have overextended yourself out of obligation, guilt, or the desire to be needed. But now is the time to honor yourself. Say no to things that drain you. Say no to relationships that take more than they give. Say no to expectations that no longer align with who you are, and say yes to yourself, yes to rest, yes to joy, yes to choosing your own well-being. Self-compassion isn't selfish, it's necessary. Many people, especially those who have spent their lives caring for others, struggle with the idea of prioritizing themselves. They feel guilty for slowing down, for saying no, for putting their own needs first. But here's the truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean neglecting others. It means ensuring you have the energy, health, and emotional strength to fully enjoy the life you have left. You have spent years showing love to others. Now it's time to show that same love to yourself. A final thought, you are enough exactly as you are. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You don't have to earn your worth. It was never in question. You don't have to be perfect to be deserving of kindness, especially your own. At 60 and beyond, the greatest gift you can give yourself is acceptance. Accept who you are, where you are, and all that you have been through. Release the need to be more, do more, or chase something outside yourself. Know that you are already enough, just as you are in this moment, because when you embrace self-compassion, you don't just age gracefully, you live fully. For much of life, we assume that family will always be our safety net. That when things get tough, the people we've known the longest will be there to catch us. But as we get older, we realize something important. While family can be a source of support, they are not always the ones we can fully rely on. Children grow up and have their own lives. Siblings may drift apart. Friends may move away. Spouses, if we have them, may not always be able to provide the emotional, physical, or financial support we need. And if we don't take an active role in building our own support system, we risk finding ourselves alone at a time when we need connection the most. The illusion of automatic support. Many people assume that if they've been a good parent, sibling, or friend, support will be there when they need it. But life doesn't always work that way. Your children may love you, but they have their own families and responsibilities. Old friendships may fade if they are not actively maintained. The people you relied on in your 40s and 50s may not be in the same stage of life as you are now. This is why intentionality matters. A strong support system isn't something that magically appears. It's something you cultivate with care, effort, and consistency, the key elements of a strong support system. So what does a real, reliable support system look like? It's not just about having people in your life. It's about having the right people in your life. A well-rounded support system consists of 5 essential elements. Emotional support. The people who lift you up. These are the people who listen without judgment, who offer encouragement when you need it most. They might be lifelong friends, new friends, mentors, or even a therapist. They remind you that you are not alone, that you are valued, and that your feelings are valid. Practical support, the people who show up. These are the people who help when you need tangible assistance. It could be a neighbor who helps with small errands, a friend who checks in on you, or a community group that offers resources. As you age, having people you can count on for day-to-day needs, whether it's transportation, home maintenance, or grocery shopping, is crucial. Social support, the people who keep you engaged. Loneliness is one of the biggest threats to well-being after 60. A strong support system includes friends and social circles that keep you connected to the world, whether it's joining a book club, attending church groups, participating in volunteer work, or simply having a walking buddy. Staying engaged with others is key to staying engaged with life. Health and wellness support, the people who prioritize your well-being. Your support system should include people who encourage you to take care of your health. This could be a walking partner, a yoga group, a doctor you trust, or even a friend who reminds you to schedule checkups. Health is everything, and having a support system that values your well-being ensures that you prioritize it too. Financial and legal support, the people who help you stay secure. Having trusted financial advisors, legal professionals, or even, just financially savvy friends can help you navigate retirement, investments, and estate planning. As we age, financial security becomes one of the most critical aspects of independence. Aging well means planning well, and that means surrounding yourself with people who can guide you in making sound decisions. How to build your own support system. Intentionally, now that we understand what a support system should include, the question is, how do you build one? One, to take an honest look at your current support network. Who do you currently rely on? Who is truly there for you and who is more distant? What gaps exist in your support system? Self-reflection is the first step in understanding what areas of your life need more connection and support. 2, expand your social circles. Join local groups, clubs, or organizations that align with your interests. Volunteer. It's one of the easiest ways to meet like-minded people. Don't be afraid to reconnect with old friends or colleagues. Attend community events, even if it's outside your comfort zone. 3, strengthen existing relationships. Friendships, like gardens, need tending. Make an effort to reach out, check in, and nurture the connections you already have. Be the kind of friend you want to have. Show up, listen, and invest in relationships. 4, learn to ask for help. Many people struggle with asking for help because they don't want to be a burden. The reality, people want to help, but they need to know how. Being open about your needs allows others to show up for you in meaningful ways. 5, let go of relationships that drain you. Not every relationship is healthy or beneficial. If someone consistently drains your energy, makes you feel bad about yourself, or is absent when you need them, it's okay to distance yourself. Building a strong support system means surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, not weigh you down. The power of community, why you can't do it alone. As we age, independence is important, but connection is vital. Too many people isolate themselves thinking, I don't want to bother anyone. But isolation isn't just lonely, it's dangerous. It leads to depression, cognitive decline, and a lower quality of life. Humans are wired for connection. We thrive when we have people to share our burdens, our joys, and our journey. The strongest people aren't the ones who do everything alone. They're the ones who build strong, dependable networks. Final thought, you deserve support. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to go through this stage of life alone. You deserve people who check in on you. You deserve friendships that bring joy and laughter. You deserve a community that values you. But no one builds a support system for you. You build it for yourself. So take that first step. Reach out, reconnect, and invest in the people who invest in you. because a life lived with strong, meaningful connections isn't just longer, it's richer, fuller, and infinitely more rewarding. Would you like me to include strategies for rebuilding lost connections or handling loneliness? By the time you turn 60, life has given you countless experiences, some beautiful, some painful, all of them shaping who you are today. And if there's one thing that becomes clear, it's this: your well-being, your happiness, and your future depend on the choices you make now. The truth is, relying solely on family for support in this stage of life is not enough. While family can be a source of love, they are not always the most reliable pillar when it comes to your long-term happiness and security. The real foundation of a fulfilling life after 60 is built on these 5 pillars. Your health is your foundation. Without good health, nothing else matters. Taking care of your body and mind isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. Invest in your well-being, move your body, and make choices that support your longevity. Financial stability equals freedom. Money doesn't buy happiness, but financial security gives you the freedom to live on your terms. The decisions you make today, whether it's budgeting, saving, or investing, will determine your quality of life in the years to come. Friendships are your chosen family. Blood doesn't always define true connection. The people who show up, support you, and bring joy into your life are the family you choose. Nurture those friendships, build new ones, and never underestimate the power of deep, meaningful relationships. Purpose keeps you alive. A reason to wake up in the morning is what keeps the heart and mind strong, whether it's through hobbies, volunteering, mentorship, or personal growth. Staying engaged with life keeps you young. Self-compassion is essential. You've spent your life giving to others. Now it's time to show yourself that same kindness. Release regrets, embrace your imperfections, and give yourself the grace to enjoy this chapter without guilt or self-criticism. You build your own support system. A strong support system doesn't happen by accident. It takes effort, intention, and courage to reach out, to connect, and to create a community that lifts you up. Don't wait for support to come to you. Go out and build it. The final message: you are in control of your future. Aging is not about decline, it's about evolution. It's about stepping into a stage of life where you decide what matters most. It's about letting go of outdated expectations and embracing the reality that your happiness is your responsibility. So take care of your health, secure your finances, cherish your friendships, find your purpose, be kind to yourself, and most importantly, build the support system that will carry you forward. Because the best years of your life aren't behind you, they are still ahead, waiting for you to claim them.